The Voice of Converting, the podcast for converting pros. Hello and welcome to a new episode of The Voice of Converting, and today I'm here with three guests from the European Place Conference, which is a fascinating format that will come to Munich in 2025. With me are Anna Helgert, Sven Sängerlaub and Peter Gellerich.
Yeah, I'm working within our Technical Service and Development Department for Food and Specialty Packaging at Dow. It is part of our largest business unit, the Packaging and Specialty Plastics Division, and there I'm active as an extrusion coating subject matter expert, and I'm responsible for our extrusion coating and lamination portfolio in Europe, Middle East and Africa from a technical perspective. By background, I'm a packaging engineer, so I'm well familiar about the functions and the requirements on packaging across the value chain. And it also makes me very comfortable and proud to work with bdvi, the German Association of Packaging Engineers, where I can meet like-minded people who are passionate for packaging and sustainability.
Mr. Sängerlaub?
I have pretty much an academic background. I am a professor for packaging technology at the Munich University of Applied Sciences. So I'm teaching polymers, I'm teaching packaging. Besides, I'm also the chairman of the bdvi, the German Association of Packaging Engineers, that supports this great event. And before, I worked a long time at Fraunhofer and then studied myself packaging technology. So I'm pretty much a packaging engineer.
And Mr. Gellerich?
My background is more mechanical engineering. I've studied mechanical engineering with a focus on packaging machines. So that is what end of the supply chain. So the foils and films are converted at the last step on these machines to the end product. So and that is what I'm currently working with the company Uhlmann Pac-Systeme. We are developing packaging machines for the pharma industries. And these are the machines which basically use all these films and foils which are produced, converted in the preceding steps of the supply chain. So currently all of the end problems which with all these products occur on our machines, and our end customer is that the person who has to bring this into the end consumer. So we are the end of the supply chain and see all the properties that the foils and films bring to the machine.
So let's get into the topic of today, which is the Place Conference. So maybe you can talk about your personal motivation. What got you involved with this conference, and what are the benefits that you're expecting for your work?
The European Place Conference has a very long tradition of bringing the flexible packaging and converting industry together, globally even, in Europe, to exchange on knowledge about the polymers, about laminates, adhesives, coatings and extrusion. And it's really the platform to meet the industry experts that are working in the field of extrusion coating. So this is going from the machine manufacturers, the well-known like Avepa, Bobst, SML, down to the converters, of course, that are processing the polymers and other coatings on their lines. Like we have part of the conference Amcor, we have Valky, we have Elopak, we have participants from all major converters in the field. And then, of course, all the polymer producers and raw material suppliers, and last but not least, also the academia, the people who are really bringing the latest insights from the research.
I can agree. So I think the main advantage of that conference is that we bring together the whole supply chain at one place. So that is what is very, very interesting and important, so that people that usually only communicate over specific data sheets, they meet together on one place and can exchange information, can exchange what is the latest news. So that's a very, very I think, one of the most important points.
And you've been talking about the motivation. I think it's really a place to meet like-minded people. I've been there in 2022, and I really found that the people to meet there are not only experts in the field, renowned global, extrusion coders or players in the field, but also really pleasant people and passionate about what they're doing, really trying to solve and address challenges. And it's always easier if you know whom to call when you have a problem to address, and within 1 or 2 phone calls you get to the right expert. And this is really the platform where you can make those contacts and connections and get to know the right people.
For me, let's say, to say from the academic side, it's quite important to know what is important. So what is the knowledge in industry? And there's often a difference what you find in scientific publication, in books, in technical books, and that what really matters at the moment for the companies. And that's what is important. And also there are a lot of small things, like if you talk about biology, about thickness, or new polymer developments that are really decisive to make better coatings, to use less material, and to have a better packaging. So in my experience is in a place conference, it was one of the best conferences I experienced in my lifetime. So I attended several ones, and there were a lot of technical things that I learned that were new to me. So I really improved my knowledge. And besides, I have to say the people are really kind, really nice people. So you go there, you feel like a friend. There's really a technical talk, so you don't have all these political discussions, but really technical things that really is interesting for engineers. And it's always a nice experience to go there. So that's why I really support this. That's why I say we have to continue the place conference, and we have to have it also in future.
So maybe let's talk about like the framework of this year's place conference. When does it take place? Who is speaking and who should attend?
This year's edition of the conference is taking place in Munich, in a very nice hotel called Le Méridien, directly opposite side of the Munich main station. And it will start on Monday, the 26th of May, and will end on 28th, the Wednesday, 28th May. And we will have a very broad range of presenters, a very broad range from the whole supply chain, people from the converting industries. So we have, for example, I will do that in a chronologic row, so that which will the program. So we have Davis Standard, we have Dow, we have Tetra Pak, we have Ineos, Exxon, Morchem, Mitsui, Amcor, Uhlmann, Borealis. We have from the academics, we have Fraunhofer, we have Munich University of Applied Science, we have SABIC, we have Nordson, we have Dr. Schenk, OCS Service, BASF, Mica, Wolke, Technical University Klostal. So you see a very, very broad audience, and the topics are from basic polymers and to sealing. Extrusion is the core. Extrusion is the main bracket that holds the complete conference together. We have permeation and barrier topics. We have sustainable topics. We have paperization and plastic reduction. We have plasma topics and latest innovations from research and advanced development. So that's the broad. And I think there are 2 brackets. The first is extrusion coating, and the second is all these challenges that come from the circularity challenges that are new for the industry. So this is what the conference is focusing on.
I think quite important is because Peter talked about circularity. In the end, if you want to have a circular economy and really a sustainable industry, you have to solve technical issues. So the point is not so much a political discussion. It's about rheology. So what polymers process better, how to avoid coating mistakes, how to make packaging thinner, how to get a good barrier. So need a good technical understanding to solve all the big problems. And that's really the good point on place. So that's why I think it's so important for our industry to solve all the sustainability goals, because in the end, these are technical issues we have to solve.
Yeah, that's a good point, because the industry, it's my experience. The industry has a very long experience on some particular polymers, foil types, and they have working to optimize these types of polymers and foils for decades, and with a very fast progress, very fast development. This is changing now, so we don't have from the machine supplier, we don't have the time to use decades to optimize the new type. So we have to switch very fast, and this is only possible if you have a very deep knowledge on the physical, chemical, and technical backgrounds. And that is the event to meet those people who can answer your question on that types of technical issues.
And I think we're here really moving within this, conflicting field almost between the new legislation that is coming into place and the functionality of packaging. We have to remember that packaging does have to fulfill its functions, and that's where we are experts in. What's coming to it is really how do we develop new structures in the face of the PPWR, the Packaging and Packaging Waste Regulation, that is laying out circularity goals from the development of guidelines to rate the recyclability and indicate guidelines how recyclable packaging must be, how much recycled content you have to bring back into a packaging to a certain point, and also what about the decarbonization. And those are the topics where companies have to find their way. And the unique selling point about this conference is really that we both talk about this framework and the impact the PPWR has and all the sustainability, circularity, decarbonization goals of the company have, and how we can navigate those while still focusing on the heart of what we're doing to create a packaging that is ultimately protecting the product in an adequate way in order to save resources in the best way possible.
I guess we can say that we are living in a time of great changes, even upheavals when we regard the geopolitical situation and everything. So I guess that the companies and the people in this industry also have a high necessity of network with each other, and also even competitors talking to each other. This is something that we also experience at the most recent trade show. So maybe you can also talk about the networking aspects of the PLACE program. So what do you have in mind for this?
Yeah, as you mentioned, nowadays we are facing challenges that no one can solve on their own. And this is what we see more and more. We have to bring the value chain together. We have to be more open to exchange on topics to find the right way, because we will not be able to find the only one solution, because there will be multiple solutions to address certain topics. But if you want to create a meaningful recycling stream, for example, you cannot do that alone. You need to have multiple players in the industry thinking alike and pulling in the same direction. And this is where, we want to facilitate that exchange between those experts, the technical experts that we are bringing together, to navigate this and to find the way. And we will facilitate that through the breaks. We have an evening event where people can really exchange, get to know each other on the personal level and, beyond the company boundaries. Because, the challenges we cannot solve alone, which means we have to work together. And the best way to do that is to discuss and to have the right contacts.
Important to add from the side of bdvi, so the organizing organization, is that we have really strict antitrust laws and antitrust rules for this program, so that we are really compliant. So that's quite important to us. So you have an option to meet, to talk, but at the same time, it's compliant with all the rules we have. And that's also a good thing.
What I can add from the program side as a technical program chair, we took very much attention when we elaborated the program, to give discussion a broader room. So we have regular breaks for the people to come together informally at between the sessions, so that they can go deeper into their topic that they're interested in, meet each other face to face. So that is what the conference is made for, to exchange, to talk about technical problems, technical solutions, and do it face to face, do it in a broad audience. Do it in a quite semi-formal way with the poster session to come into discussion with people you're interested to.
Maybe as a final question, I will offer you the opportunity to give a little pitch for our listeners who are mainly involved in the converting of flexible materials. So if they haven't decided to attend yet, why should they go themselves or send one of their colleagues to Munich, to the PLACE conference?
Yeah, if you haven't decided yet, I think then you should really check out the program. We will have exciting topics that range, as Peter laid out, from the basics of extrusion to solving real-life problems. And I'm most excited for a couple of those points that we brought together. There's, for example, a piece where one of my colleagues is talking about the rheology, the material science, and how it's a useful tool for extrusion coders and the technical community that is extrusion coding, to understand what's the influence of the material on the extrusion coding and processing performance. And we will see from a converting perspective. So Tetra Pak is talking about how they're applying those tools in order to address their challenges that they have in practice. And another example that I would like to highlight is the problems or the examples of challenges or solutions that we find. And here we have Peter on the call, who's going to talk about the delamination of materials in a stage much later than like the conversion. So this is an important point for the extrusion coating people to understand what happens later on with the substrate that they have been coating or laminating together, to understand the subsequent processes and challenges that might be faced there and what could be the root causes of those, as well as, of course, the development of novel packaging that are that the companies are developing in order to comply with their new guidelines, the legislation, but also their company goals. And that's ranging from the reusable packaging approaches, where we will see a new peelable solution, to a steel packaging, so reusable, for example, a coffee cup that you can bring back to the store and wash, recycle, down to novel material combinations. So what about materials that are enabling to reduce the plastic content of a packaging? We have heard about paperization. And here we will hear from the converters themselves, like Valky, like Tetra Pak, on how they're addressing those topics and how they develop new packaging for the market.
Yeah, I can encourage, especially those companies and those people from the end of the supply chain, so the brand owners and the packaging machine supply, to participate, because this is the best occasion to get deep insights into all the topics that your suppliers, those people who send you the packaging films and foils, to get to know about properties and challenges of these new foils and films. This is a very good and deep insight that you probably will not get during all day work and all day life. So come to the conference if you're if you're working with that foils and films.
So you meet a lot of experts on one spot for polymers, lamination, adhesive, coating, extrusion, that are really technical people. So you won't find it at another place. at a reasonable cost for the conference and at a great place in Munich, a nice hotel, nice evening event.
All right. And of course, we will be there as well. So Flex Convert will also travel to Munich. I will go there. So I'm excited because it will be the first time for me to attend a place conference. And we are very excited about it. And of course, we will also offer some post-event coverage. So we will highlight the event in our next issue, which will come out later this summer. It's been a pleasure to work together with the Place team and to make this show today. And if you have any questions about the Place conference, get in touch with the people who are here at the show today, with Anna Helgert, Sven Sängerlaub, and Peter Gellerich. I guess you're all available on LinkedIn if somebody has any questions about the Place conference. Also, check out their website, place-conference.eu. And this is all for today. So I hope you will tune in next time for the Voice of Converting, and have a nice day. The Voice of Converting podcast is a product of M2N Media. To learn more, check out our website proflexconvert.com.